Alright, instant reaction time. Arsenal 3, Fulham 0, and a brilliant result from the boys. It's been a while since we've been able to sit comfortably and relax and watch the game with our feet up on the desk, but that's what we were able to do. And a very, very dominating first half led to a pretty dull second half, mainly just us just controlling the game, making sure that we just see the game out, and we rotated a lot of players for the upcoming match against Atletico Madrid midweek. So really, really good result. Doing the damage early on so that we can afford to rest our players. Later on, it really just played all go. It just all went to plan. Pretty simple way to sum up this game was just boys against men. Fulham came tonight and they were never really ever in it at all. They were physically dominated around all areas of the pitch. They were technically dominated. Fulham's passes were sloppy. They could not play out of a press at all. And when they tried to, we either intercepted the ball and it led to an attack, or they were forced to go long, and Saliba, Gabriel were just way too strong, and we just won every single second ball, every second duel. So yeah, pretty simple. And Fulham ended up only having one shot on target after conceding a lot of possession. Eventually, we gave the possession a little bit back to Fulham in the second half, but obviously that was by design. We were happy to just sit back and wait for the final whistle. So yeah, brilliant, brilliant result, and hopefully we can do a bit more of that in the upcoming Premier League matches, as we do have pretty weak-ish opponents. I say that in quotation marks because you never know with the Premier League, but they're definitely teams that we can definitely get at. And if we play with the sort of fire and determination that we showed tonight against those teams, I think we can get some similar results, and that will definitely help in the goal difference and the goals scored. Obviously, 2 games in, Man City has in hand, but we are now +4 in goal difference, which is huge. And crucially as well, we have caught up in the goals scored. I expect Man City to maybe get a couple of more goals before we play next, but it is a very, very good climb in the ladder tonight. Overall, the team played extremely well. There was not a single poor performance from anyone on the pitch. Maybe some unconvincing performances here and there. Maybe like especially from Ben White, who still seems to be struggling for form. He gets very easily dispossessed. There was one moment where he was trying to dribble out of trouble, and then just got caught out, slipped, and gave the ball back in a very dangerous position for Fulham. But thankfully, we were able to deal with it very easily due to our back three of Gabriel, Saliba, and Rice, who covered the game extremely well. Big mention to Miles Lewis-Skelly, who started in the place of Zubimendi in that role, and he was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Really showing why he deserves to be in the midfield rather than the left back situation. And yeah, he was amazing. He was aggressive in the tackles. He was pressing as soon as the Fulham players received the ball in the midfield. Lewis-Skelly was just there. He was just there to mark them, to tackle them immediately. Just never let any Fulham player have extended periods of possession. And then going forward, he was marvelous as well. He was progressing a lot of the play with his passes and his dribble forwards, and he was very physical, very physical. He was winning a lot of duels in the air as well. Very unassuming, similar to Zubimendi, but in terms of height, but in terms of strength and physical capabilities, Lewis Skelly is fantastic, and he definitely showed a lot of his press resistance ability. He drew a lot of fouls, protecting the ball with his body, something that Zubimendi maybe is not quite as good at. Lewis Skelly, he is a master at protecting the ball with his body and drawing a lot of fouls. Sometimes it gets him into trouble, but when he's playing in the midfield position, he can afford to be a bit more brave, as opposed to being a left back where you're being hammed by a right winger and losing the ball deep in our third can be a bit of a problem. But when he's midfield, he has a bit more freedom to express himself. And I think this is probably his role going forward, hopefully. I think we all knew that. But yeah, Arteta choosing him over Norgard is a big sign that Arteta really does actually see him there and trusts him to be in that spot. This game, finally, we're able to talk really, really highly of our attack. I think our front four of Trossard, Eze, Saka, and Gyökeres were brilliant. Finally, Trossard had a very, very good game tonight. Obviously, Fulham not the best opponents, but look, you got to play what's in front of you, and Trossard tonight was brilliant. He was back to his form of what he showed earlier in the season, where he was retaining the ball very, very well, and the amount of crosses that he played into the box that just seemed to float in the air, that extra second, was very, very good. He did that maybe 3 to 4 times this game, all in the first half, and all of them were very threatening. Could have had 2 assists. One of them was unfortunately an offside goal from Calafiori, but then the second one was a late one, right before the final whistle, to Gyökeres, who was able to control the ball and just pass it into the net over the outstretched arms of Leno. Talking of Gyökeres, he's my man of the match. He was excellent. He was unbelievable. Physically dominated the centre halves of Fulham. Obviously, 2 goals and an assist. The assist coming from a brilliant bit of hold-up play. Receives the ball on a run from Eze, who plays him in on behind. He collects the ball right on the right wing, holds it up, shifts the ball to his weaker foot, and then identifies Saka's run in, cutting in to the box, and lays it beautifully, perfectly into the path of Saka, who is able to whip it in and score near post, and Leno had no chance of scoring that. So yeah, brilliant performance from Gyökeres. Potentially his best performance in the Arsenal shirt, although he has had some good performances overall this season. It's funny, a lot has been made from Gyökeres' performance this season, but I think he has been outstanding for us. He has now scored 21 goals in all competitions this season, which is a great payoff for his first season in the Premier League and in really deep Champions League contention. He has definitely shown and proven his worth for us. And most importantly, his ability to stay fit is something that we cannot ignore. Havertz constantly is injured, and man, if we didn't have Gyökeres, we'd be having to play Jesus, who definitely is nowhere near the quality of Gyökeres. So yeah, really, really, really good from him. Moving on to Saka, first start in a very long time, and I was a bit worried about his sloppiness, his rustiness over the midweek against Atletico Madrid, but this game, he was on it. He was fantastic. Obviously, goal and assist. 9th minute assist. Shifts the ball to his right, makes the fullback slip, and plays a lovely low cross to Gyökeres, who times his run to perfection. And from then on, perfect stuff. His interlinking play with Gyökeres, with Eze, and with Ben White was superb. He was a threat all game long. Subbed off right on the half-time whistle as Arteta is opting to rest him. Obviously, Saka, fresh off an injury, got to manage his minutes a little bit, but really big. We need him for the Madrid matchup midweek. So definitely good decision from Arteta. So yeah, and then as a another brilliant performance at the cam role in place of Odegaard, who again suffers a bit of a knock from the Atletico Madrid matchup and did his job perfectly well. Unfortunately, didn't get among the score sheet as he had a couple of chances to do so, but in the end, very satisfied with his performance. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the game. Don't have to talk too much about the defense. Our defense was again very, very solid outside of White. Not much to do though, as they were pretty easily able to handle any threat that came, which to be fair, there was not much threat coming from the Fulham boys. Just a quick look at the stats and all of that. Oops. Window capture. This one here. So just a quick look at this, shall we? Surface score giving Bukayo Saka a 9.5 man of the match. Interestingly, only an 8.2 for Victor Gyökeres. I'm not sure about that, but I think for me, Gyökeres is my man of the match. So yeah, it was a really, really good performance from all of our attackers. This game, again, I think it really just showed defenders really didn't have much to do in this game. Let's see the statistics. So XG of 2.99. So we were very deserving of all 3 goals. Fulham only 0.43. We had 6 big chances to Fulham's 1. I think Fulham's 1 big chance was at the very late stages of the half where they had like a 4v2, but they fluffed it completely and couldn't even get a shot off. But yeah, it's the story is really told here. The Leno was forced to make 6 saves just to Raya's 1. So yeah, we were just dominant, very, very dominant. We controlled most of the game. 54% of the ball possession doesn't really reflect what happened. We pretty much just gave the ball to them in the second half. So yeah, not really worried about control, like going forward in the second half. We were just we can probably just look at it here. Yeah, so Fulham actually had more of the ball in the second half, with 55%, whereas in the first half, we had 62%, and we created 2.36 in just that first half. So really brilliant performance. Really happy with what we've put out today, and hopefully more of the same, please. Obviously against Atletico Madrid, probably don't expect it to be fair, but against the remaining fixtures, I think we can definitely get at a quick look at the remaining fixtures for us upcoming. So matches for us. Let's just quickly have a look. Arsenal fixtures. So we have West Ham, Burnley, and Palace. And if you're looking at the table here, West Ham is right at the bottom, 17th place, just ahead of Tottenham, just surviving relegation. Hopefully, unfortunately, we'll if we beat West Ham, it might give Tottenham a way in back into the relegation race, but we don't really care about that. We just got to handle our business. Burnley, they're 19th. They got battered by Leeds just now, 3-1. And then to finish off the season, we have Palace at 14th. So you're looking at those fixtures, you're looking pretty comfortable. And you obviously have got to look at Man City, who are playing Brentford and Everton next up. And then in comparison, Everton are 11th and Brentford at 6th. So significantly more challenging matches for Man City along the rest of the way. And in terms of their remaining fixtures, they have Palace as well. So probably a gimme there. But Bournemouth, we've seen what Bournemouth did to us. That could be a difficult game, especially being away. And then the big one, Aston Villa, to end the season there. So significantly more difficult challenges for Man City to pass. So and again, also mixed in all that, they do have a FA Cup final to play against Chelsea. So that could also throw a spanner in the works. So yeah, all things looking up for us in the Premier League at the very least. Hopefully we can finish off the business. If we get some more dominating performances like that, we definitely have a great chance at picking up this trophy. So yeah, all smiles today. It's been a very, very happy early morning for me. I get to sleep easy, and hopefully all of you have a great, great day. Come you Gunners.